talented, motivated, energetic generation. Nutmeg aims to work with young people aged 11 to 25 to build them to be future leaders, unite all communities to celebrate positive youth achievements and provide a platform for young people to showcase their talents. Educate young people to analyse and voice their views on various issues in society affecting so that they make wise choices. Inspire a generation of young leaders who are fully engaged in personal development and empowered to reach their full potential. Create active citizens by exposing young people to organisations that provide opportunities for them to use their time constructively. Get a piece of the peace.
Hi everyone, welcome to the first edition of Shining Star Show. I'm your host Joanna Fuller.
And I'm Vanessa Lorenzo.
Our mission is to bring into you the young shining star of Angolan and African community in the UK.
Yes, and I'm sure that together with you and our guests, we will have the power to illuminate the hearts and minds of young people and turn them into shining stars, right?
Yes.
And as you all may know, young people, especially those coming from ethnic minority background, face so many challenges nowadays in life. And these problems are from racial discrimination, unemployment rate,
and street gangs as well.
Yeah, street gangs. But as you know, there is a saying, for every problem, there's a final solution. Do you agree, Joanna?
Yes, definitely. And that's why today we have a young guy called Octavio,
who has started up an organisation called Nutmeg to empower the youth in his neighbourhood to fulfil their full potential.
And welcome today, Octavio in Shining Star Show.
Thank you.
We are happy to see you and honoured to meet you.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Okay. So how is it to come here? How did you find it difficult to find a place?
No, not at all. I don't live too far away from here, so it was just a short ride. So it was fine.
It's
it's really
Didn't have any trouble on the bus or anything? No one
no. It was a short drive.
Oh, short drive.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
short drive. Okay, that's good. No TFL issues. So yeah. Okay. So tell us, what's made you start off Nutmeg? I mean, it's very impressive when you hear about Nutmeg organisation. What made you start it off?
Okay, Nutmeg's a youth empowerment organisation. So we work within the London Borough of Barnet, doing various different activities.
Okay.
Such as peer mentoring, workshops on leadership skills for young people within the London Borough of Barnet. What really kicked it off was an incident that happened in 2006. A friend of ours, unfortunately, was stabbed outside the school. So within that time, we felt a need, myself and a few other colleagues, to try and do something that could inspire people within a local area. And because I'm the eldest of 7, I wanted to be a role model as well. So we thought, how could we go about doing this, empowering people in the area, and starting up a youth organisation was one of the ways we saw a way we could do that.
Okay, so tell us, what is the meaning of Nutmeg?
Nutmeg itself stands for new, unique, talented, motivated, energetic generation. Because at that time, or even now potentially, there's a lot of stigma attached to young people. Oh, they're not doing anything with their lives, or they're getting involved in crime or antisocial behaviour. So we wanted to change that image, to raise aspirations. And we thought, instead of labelling people as people that do nothing or don't really care, if we give young people a different brand, a positive brand, an inspiring vibe that they could be part of, then surely that would be doing good towards kind of changing their actions and their behaviours.
That was a great idea.
Yeah, that's definitely a great idea. And how has it been? Like, what have you? I'm sure you must have come across quite a few challenges. How long have you been doing Nutmeg, and what are some of the challenges you faced in order to fulfil your objectives?
Okay, we started Nutmeg in September 2008.
Okay.
So initially when we started, it was just sort of a group of young people sort of getting together, working with different organisations, Home Office, Edgeworth Safer Neighbourhood Team, even the police, local housing association, Barnet Homes. and the council as well, Barnet Council. So working together to try and unite the community, educate the community on some of the issues. And our main events was really just about creating a platform for young people to showcase their skills and also exposing them to other organisations. So there were stands, there were platforms for young people to sing, dance, and it was really just a celebration of positivity. Those events attracted about 400, 500 people. So initially, I guess we were quite content with that. We were quite happy with how it's going. But over the time we started doing it, we thought, okay, how can we become sustainable? How can we become an organisation that's not just doing an event for 1 month and then 6 months later, nothing, and then does it again? Funding was an issue, so our efforts had been, okay, how can we do something more continuously? Because I think that's sometimes a problem. Young people, they trust someone, and then a few months later, that service is no longer there. So we wanted to be able to be authentic. If we're saying, okay, you can achieve, you can do something, then we want to be able to overcome that hurdle of getting funding, providing service regularly, and being sustainable.
And build a relationship with them as well.
That's good. How long have you been staying in the UK?
In the UK, I've been here for over 20 years.
Yeah,
I came here when I was 5 years old.
So tell us, how was it growing up here, like in school, in terms of succeed, which is many young people are choosing that path that you chose, which is the positive side.
Yeah. Growing up, I would like to say that I probably had a childhood running away from myself, or my true identity, if I could call it like that. Yeah, it was quite a weird one. It's quite a weird one.
Did you find yourself to be very scary or something?
I don't know. Not running away from myself in that sense, but more about who I really was in terms of my heritage, my history, my background. For example, I hadn't really been a fan growing up saying that I was African or Angolan or anything like that, because it seemed that there was negative things attached to them. It was always being attached to sort of people suffering or troubles, and that's something as a young person into a new country. I felt like I don't really want anything else to hinder me from where I want to go. So, and whenever I told my friends I'm from Angola, they're like, what, Angola? Where's Angola? Where is that?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let me just make life easier for me. I'm from Portugal. Everyone knew where Portugal is. So I kept down my back for a couple of years, just telling people I'm from Portugal, I'm from Portugal.
Wow.
But now that we've got like Afrobeats and Kuduro like becoming really mainstream, and like African is like out there in the map now, I'm sure now you actually feel more comfortable to tell people, yes, I'm Angolan. Do you still have that issue?
No, I don't have that issue, no. I think that issue was left probably about 7 years ago, 6 years ago. And it wasn't necessarily because of Afrobeats or anything like that, but more because when I grew up or I matured, I just started looking at life differently. Certain things that people just said, for example, your race has inferiority and stuff like that. Before, I probably just took that on board, but now, as I'm growing older, I start questioning things. I start researching, finding out the root and the cause of the issues and stuff. So I delved into our history, and I realized there's a lot of things to be proud about. Or even when you talk about the situation in Angola and some of the conflicts, before I just didn't understand it. I don't want to be associated. But when you find out the reason why certain people behave certain ways, then you start to understand and you start to appreciate more about who you are, where you come from, and what you can do to sort of empower the next generation.
And have you had the opportunity to go back to Angola and maybe do more of research and actually...
No, I haven't actually been back, but it is on my to-do list, which is an achievement in itself, because before, if anyone told me, oh, you're thinking about going back to Angola, the mentality, some people tell me, is like, why are you going to Angola? That's going to be a waste of time. Don't go there. So I just took that on board without even considering, well, is that right? Does that make sense? But now certain people still tell me, oh, don't go, there's no point. But because I've matured, I want to know more about my history, my culture, what's actually happening, see things for myself. I'm actually really keen on going back. But at the moment, I'm doing a lot of sort of reading around Angola.
But I must say that you had a great support, because after your friend, got dead and
passed away.
To you to just have an idea to create an organization and start an event, It's not an easy one. If you have, let's say, negative people around you, you won't be able to achieve such a big achievement that you have now. But I must say you had a great opportunity or a great background. I can say either friends or parents. I don't know. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, I come from a I've come from a very big family.
Yeah.
A very big family. So I think I drew my inspiration from them.
Okay.
Especially my younger siblings. Because it's what I've quickly realized that it's one thing telling people something, but it's another thing showing them.
Yes.
So it's one thing telling them do this and do that, but if you're able to live a life, almost be a role model, then that could be so powerful. Because it got to a point where when kids are younger, you can just tell them something and they'll listen straight away. But once they become a bit older, they won't just take what you say, they'll actually want to see what you do. So I thought, okay, if I need to be empowered, if I want to inspire, then I've got to live a life that demonstrates that. And yes, I did have good friends around. I think going to university also helped.
Opened
yeah, because I got exposed to different role models there, different people from similar background, but they were so far ahead. I think because of the area I'm coming from, this is actually one of the other issues that was very important, is that because there wasn't many people doing what we were doing, when someone does it, it's like, wow. Everyone pays attention.
We do get
so
that
it was
a lot.
very easy for the word to go around because there just wasn't that many people doing it.
Wow. We need to go for a break for now, but you're going to let us know more. There's more to come. Please stay there.
It's about time. Is that Rui? Good to see you, pal.
Nice to see you, bud. How you doing,
How you doing?
What's up? I'll get up, Rui. Good to see you, pal. All right. 1 out of 4 got up.
It's been a long day. I'm sorry about that.
It's all right.
Rui, how you feeling?
I am feeling really good.
Me too.
Yeah, overwhelmed. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Fabulous. Stupendous.
Yeah.
We're in Ireland. Belfast. Don't get no better.
We're not in Belfast. We're in Dublin.
In Dublin, that's right. I should have known because I wasn't blown up.
Oh my goodness.
How was the journey here? Okay.
Journey here was great. We had a good time. Yeah. A lot of
No
fun.
problems.
Yeah. Life's good. Rui, how's your life going?
It's going okay. It's
We
going pretty
respect
well.
what you're doing. You're hanging out with you're teaching a lot of
We just finished watching the video where he met Chris Rock alongside the cast members of Grown Ups. So
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was
That was
amazing.
amazing.
How was it? How did you get to meet them?
It was an incredible experience. But so what happened is Be Inspired, who funded the project, came to some of the workshops. They liked what we did. They sort of organised a surprise with the BBC's Tonight's the Night show that was taking place at the time. And yeah, it was incredible.
Wow.
They just surprised me. Got to meet Chris Rock, Adam Sandler, and the rest of the cast. They were, my comedy heroes. I enjoy comedy as well. So, I had a really good time. Really
Wow,
good
that's
time.
amazing. And you know how earlier on before we went to break, you mentioned how it's important for you to be a role model for your siblings. How about yourself? Who are you influenced by? Have you, who are your role models? Have you got any role models?
I think before, when I was younger, the role models were just, footballers and people, celebrities. But as I grow older, it's a more strategized. There's more thought behind it. So I got role models like Malcolm X, who fought hard for sort of liberation and freedom during the civil rights movements. But then I've also got role models like my parents. It's a contradiction because when I was younger, I had friends that were, you know, they seemed to be in a better position than me. So I used to think, oh, my mum and dad, you know, why am I in this situation? You know, why are we in this situation? But now, understanding where they've come from and what they've had to do to get us here to have an opportunity to strive, their story is so inspiring to me now. Whereas before, I would say I probably took it for granted.
And is there any role models within the Angolan community as well? Is there anyone?
So I have my parents.
Besides your parents,
I don't know many, but even the founder of this TV show, I think he's an incredible role model. Whenever I hear, I mean, I might not know every single person, but whenever I hear people, they're starting something, or they're trying to make things happen, despite the adversity, despite however small. I find that very inspiring.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, and that is really good actually.
Do you get help from Angolan community?
Yes, the area where we are based, there's quite a big Angolan population within sort of northwest London. So we've got Burnt Oak, Colindale, Edgware. There's quite a big Angolan population. So when we first started our events, that's the networks we used to sort of come to events, to get the word out there, to really create the brand and get things moving that way. So whenever there is events, the people are always willing to help. And there's sort of different groups and different clubs as well of people who are Angolan involved in. They come and support all the time. So that's really good.
Amazing.
So what is the future holds for Nutmeg?
The future is growth. It's growth and sustainability, meaning that we are trying to really last. And we want the organization to get to a point where the founders can just walk away. Because we've put our names out there and to a sense where we've built a brand for ourselves. And I think that's important within the area. For example, some of the places we live, Burnt Oak, people wouldn't necessarily think, oh, you're from Burnt Oak, that means you're a leader. No, whereas if you come, for example, Oxford or Cambridge, that place where you're coming from, it backs you up. So what we're trying to do is get the young people to understand that you can't necessarily just relax. You need to sort of create a brand from where you are. And myself and my other co-founders, we feel like we're doing that. But we want to really empower the young people within the area to take that leadership opportunity position. So we want to build it to a point where the founders could just walk away, but we know that organization is still continuing, it's still running.
And then you just concentrate on other things.
We might be a board member, or because Nutmeg itself is youth, and I'm not going to be young forever. So I think true leadership comes from the fruits that you produce. So we want to be able to provide a platform where someone else can say, you know what, I'm gonna step up from here.
Wow, that's amazing. Because it's good how you want to like give up the power to other people. And you know, in this society, there's as you know, we've got leaders that refuse to give the power away. But
I think what I learned recently is that life is a relay. So you don't keep the baton on forever. You've got to pass it on sometimes. So.
So you all as a team can win the race. So you can just finish the race as a team. So that's a very good.
And thank you everyone that's here supporting the Beyond the Classroom project. This booklet was put together to raise awareness of the fantastic contribution young people in Barnet, aged 16 to 25, are doing in the community. We hope that by putting this together, other young people within the community will be inspired and motivated, and in general the public as well will be more encouraged to view young people positively. I'm often asked why why did I put this booklet together? Why did we put this booklet together? And to be honest, it came from the frustration. The frustration of hearing about all the negativity that's happening concerning young people and wanting to put the twist on things and highlight all the positive things young people are doing. I've been in rooms where I'm talking about, oh, there's so many positive things young people are doing, but then people ask, okay, who are these people? And I name possibly 5, 4, 6 names, and then I struggle. And I'm thinking, there must be more young people out there. There must be more young people doing positive things. So they needed a reason to highlight these achievements. So we decided to put this booklet together to do so. And someone once says that we should celebrate what we want to see more of. And of course, we want to see more young leaders. So it's an opportunity for us to celebrate that and put it together. The booklet of 20 young people who are doing fantastic work within the community. And it's all about trying to raise awareness of what's happening and encouraging more people to pursue positive pathways. I'm now going to introduce
Welcome back, and as mentioned before, we're here with Rui George, who is the founder of Nutmeg. So going back to the youth, and since you are leading a youth organisation, I mean, why do you think many youth are, heading like the wrong way in terms of getting involved in gangs and loads of youth dying at a very young age? Well, what do you think is the cause of these issues?
I think that obviously that's a big question.
Yeah.
But I think it basically comes down to 2 terms or 2 philosophies. One is they're disengaged because they're disadvantaged.
Okay.
Meaning it may be the area that they're coming from, deprived areas, maybe new to the country, doesn't quite know what the system has to offer. Educational, they might not be doing that well. Society, they may feel like society is letting them down, political systems letting them down, or even within their own household, they might feel like they're being let down. So I say that these are sort of the outside things that are happening to them, that they feel are happening to them, that's causing people to feel a certain way.
But you know how you said like society and political, England, we are very quite fortunate enough to be in this country. There's so many opportunities, especially for under 25s, and when I see kids nowadays killing each other, there's black and black crime, and there's always tends to be about the most smallest things, either because he owed me money, or because he's going out with so and so's girlfriend, and there was even just the recent killing of this gentleman just not long ago. So I don't know,
what can we do really to make it stop?
Okay,
if you have a great idea to give.
Like I mentioned before, one philosophy is they're disengaged, they're not getting involved because they feel that they are disadvantaged. But the other way that I like to think of it is that people are actually disadvantaged because they're disengaged.
Yeah.
That means that, okay, despite the challenges or despite the discrimination, despite the poverty or where you're coming from, if I still engage, if I still apply myself, if I can see, you've mentioned about Great Britain being an opportunity, if I still realise that there are so many great opportunities here for me, then surely I can make something of myself. Yeah. And that's, in a sense, the transition I had to make. Rather than thinking, oh, I'm from Angola, I'm from this background, my colleagues have been here for years, they've got this, comparing myself to other people, actually being able to say, okay, I've been given a platform, and this is a platform that we can use, and I need to make the most out of the resources that are out there available for me. Are some people going to turn you down and say no? Of course. But if you know that there's a purpose and you really want to do something, then you keep knocking on the door and seeing what's out there and available for you.
Earlier on you said about life skills. Do you think it's very important used to learn that life skills?
Life skills is essential because that's where you get your value. Because I think one of the things within primarily within the black community, materialism is always being thrown at us. So even if you haven't got your worth within your skills or yourself, you can get it within a certain brand. So sometimes we're guilty of not paying enough attention to actually building up our own skills. And I think as well with parenting has a lot to do with it. I was talking to an Angolan parent and she was saying that, you know what, I think one of the issues is that we only really care a lot about our children's education once they get to GCSE. Because that's when the grade comes out and it's permanent. But when they're 1, 2, nursery or something, perhaps we're not pushing as much, and we just expect them to come up with A's and B's once they reach GCSE. So that's something we definitely need to take on board.
So there's a lot involved in bringing up a child. It's not just you giving birth to the child and then that is it. There's a lot of investment, a lot of educating, a lot of empowerment. So it is something loads of people need to think about as well. So is it about implanting them seeds, these fruitful thoughts from the very
I think so. I think, like I mentioned to my friends a few times, is that life, I believe, is a relay. So the baton's going to get passed, and that's who we get from our parents, people around us. They give us the baton. But at the end of the day, whether we're ahead or whether we're behind, we've still got a job to do. We've still got the baton. So even if we don't necessarily catch up with the person in front of us, we still want to do the best we can, because whatever we achieve, we set the standards for the next generation. So if we've got that sense of responsibility, we feel like we've got a purpose or a reason, or even we're not just thinking about currency, but we're thinking about a legacy, then that's going to encourage us and strive to do, okay, how can I create or live a life that's not just about me, but future generations can be inspired by. But from my personal experience, I would say that there's possibly 4 key things that need to be addressed. Number 1, I've talked about quite a few times, is identity. Having a sense of, okay, this is who I am. Number 2, having some sort of vision about where you see yourself in the future. Because sometimes the present can be quite disheartening and it's not really very inspiring. But if you paint a positive picture for the future, then that can keep you going. Number 3 is life skills, or even just having an enthusiasm or willingness to want to learn. Okay, I want to do this. I don't know how to, but I need to find out, whether that means volunteering, whether that means getting a low-paid job initially so you can grow yourself, just to learn, whether that means going to university. But it's that whole, I want to learn, I want to, so I can achieve that vision because I know who I am. And the final one is resilience. Resilience says I will not back down. Resilience says I can't give up. Resilience says I got my parents, my family, my future kids relying on me. At the moment, that's how I'm thinking. I ain't got no kids right now. but when I'm doing things, I'm thinking, okay, one day I'm going to have a little kid looking at me, wanting some inspiration.
And ask me questions, what you do.
Exactly. And what's going to be my story? I can tell them stories about Obama and other people.
What's your story?
But what's daddy's story?
I like that. What is my story?
Exactly.
So you've got identity, vision, resilience, life skills.
Definitely.
That is amazing.
That is really good.
I'm really honoured. I'm honoured. I don't know about you.
Oh, definitely. I've got goosebumps all over. But no, definitely it's amazing. Wow. So just in closing up, I mean, you've mentioned so many things. I really like the principle of the bat. Like that is, I'm going to stick to that and I'm going to be using that all the time now. The 4 concepts. I like what you mentioned about disengaged, disadvantage, or disadvantage in being disengaged. So just closing up, what would you leave for our viewers? Because obviously our aim is to eliminate the hearts and minds of the young people. So,
and
what is your
real shining
definitely.
Star.
Definitely you are.
Thank you.
So tell us what you.
Actually, I'm going to borrow words from a motivational speaker, because these are some of the words that really got me going initially when I thought that I was at the bottom, where I felt like I can't do anything, things aren't really going well. I wanted to be great, I wanted to be good, but I just didn't have anything around me that I felt could propel me towards that position. But then I like a lot of motivational quotes. So then I came across Zig Ziglar, famous speaker in America. He says, you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. So with that concept, no one has an excuse. So that's a message I would like to leave to everyone. Whatever ideas you have, vision you have, things to improve, to get better, you have to start somewhere. So get started.
Wow.
Get started. So whatever idea you have there, you don't need to write down your action plan. Like he said, get started, and
There we go.
yeah, that is amazing. That's
There we
definitely.
Unfortunately, we are at the end.
Yeah, sorry.
So,
But it's been a
Rui
pleasure,
here it's a
definitely.
pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure having you around.
I enjoyed being here. Thank you for
Yeah,
inviting
all
me.
the best, and you know, I'm sure we're gonna see a lot more of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you for following us, and keep following us on Facebook. We are Shining Star on Facebook, and our email is mangole@gmail.com.
And yes, if you know any shining stars, or even if you are a shining star yourself, please do contact us. And we are also open for any suggestions or advice or debate. So please do let us know what you think. And yeah, we would like to have you here to join us.
And we thank the men behind the scenes, Manungola, Afakwabu himself. Actually, thank you for Mangole Show. It's always been a pleasure working with you guys around. And this is Shining Star.
Bye.
If you are what you say you are, a superstar.